Nothing crazy happening right now. I just was passing through this town. We were heading back to the trailer, and was following kind of behind this cop, and I saw him whip around and pull this guy over. Looked like he had a burnout taillight or something when the guy drove by. So I stopped there just to take a look at that, and just observing here and doing a little loving of my neighbor. So I'm just observing, and so far nobody's approached or anything like that. But you know, this is a good practice, I think, for anybody. Now I'm about, I don't know, 50 feet back. Basically the idea is this, right? We know that police often overstep their bounds. We know that most of the stops they engage in are less than constitutional, but that doesn't mean every stop turns into a war, right? And that we want to fight every single time. So what we're doing here is we're just observing, and it's a great way to observe, kind of, you know, make sure they've got somebody in handcuffs. All right, there we go. Now we got a better view because there's so much humidity down here right now that it's crazy. So they got somebody, now they're shining the lights at me. Here they're gonna do the light shining. Now if that guy shines his light in my eyes, I'm not playing this light game. You know, I got a light too. And just gonna observe. So the bottom line in these series is we just want to love our neighbor. We want to kind of look out. Roll your window up a little bit, honey. You can bring the camera in. And make sure that everything's on the up and out. How you doing, sir?
Can we help you?
Well, we're just observing.
Huh?
We're just observing.
Oh, okay.
What's going on here?
Alright, no, it's just a traffic stop.
Why do you have somebody in handcuffs for a traffic stop?
Well, it's none of your concern, okay?
Well, it's very much my concern. You work for the people, and I'm just observing to try and make sure that nothing untoward's going on. But I think it's a reasonably curious question. Is it normal to put somebody in handcuffs for a traffic stop?
That's her business, okay? So
hi, ma'am. How you doing?
No, it's not.
But you do need to get off my traffic stop.
No, I don't. I'm just observing.
Okay, but what I'm telling you is the person that was arrested, it's not any of your business because that's her personal business, what she got arrested for. So it's none of your concern.
No, actually, that's a matter of public record, sir.
Okay.
Okay, well, you look it up in public record.
Yeah.
Oh, sure. And I can't force you to tell me. I mean, it would be cordial of you to do so. But I'm just observing. I'm not here to interfere. And you guys shouldn't be uncomfortable with being filmed. I mean, it looks like you have body cams yourself, so it's not like you should be uncomfortable.
Well,
can I ask how old you are? Can I ask how old you are?
Yeah. Can we ask you a question? Okay.
You can ask, yeah.
The reason why we're here right now talking to you is because we're on a traffic stop and you pulled behind us, okay?
Right.
And we don't know who you are.
Yeah, I'm well behind you. Okay. So actually, what's weird to me is that you're on a traffic stop and you're over here talking to me instead of dealing with your traffic stop.
Okay. Well, she's already detained, okay?
What's your name, sir?
I'm Officer Garcia.
Garcia, I'm Gavin. What's your name, ma'am? Cantrell.
All right.
You're pretty young. Are you new?
All right. You have a good night.
Guys. Now, there's nothing I can do. I'm sure the arrest is bogus, right? These guys are, it's probably, I don't know, who knows? Let's not speculate. And this girl who looks like she's about 12, I mean, they're getting them young because they can brainwash them easy, right? Now, I wanted you to notice, though, they said, she said, you have to get off my traffic stop. No, I don't. And this is the thing, a little bit of assertiveness goes a long way, right? To be honest, I'm a little bit nervous especially of Texas cops. They have a reputation for being abusive, and look, I mean, I know the Texans get offended by this. I'm not here to pick on Texans. It's simply a fact. Texas cops are notorious for doing things they should not, okay? So, now this young lady here is, she's like locked out of her car over here. Look, these guys are distracted, and they're not focusing on what they're supposed to be doing. Now, people will accuse me, right? People will accuse me saying, "Oh, Gavin, you're distracting him." No, not at all. I'm at a safe distance. I'm far less danger to anyone here than they are. And I'm just here to observe. And what I want to encourage all of you guys to do, look, you just stop and watch, right? Just stop and engage. If they talk to you, you talk to them. But you don't have to answer any of their questions. They don't get to tell me to leave. I'm well within my rights. If people are bothered by things like this, they're not patriots. If people are bothered by me stopping and just having a conversation, holding police accountable and just observing them, they're not for the Constitution. The police in America are completely out of control. Every arrest they make now, every conviction in court, it's all a violation of the Constitution, guys. The Constitution's the law. Now, for me in a situation like this, I can't fight everything. So I'm just here to observe, make sure this doesn't turn into some kind of a beatdown or something like that, right? And here they come again. See, they don't.
Can y'all go ahead and leave the scene?
Am I causing you some concern?
Yes, you are, because you're behind our traffic stop. And you're
Would it make you more comfortable if I pulled up on the side here?
That's even closer to
You
us.
have two
Okay.
choices. Either you can leave my scene or both of you are going to be arrested
For what?
for interfering.
How am I interfering?
You're interfering with my traffic stop. I don't like you sitting right here behind
You
me.
don't get to dictate that, but
right.
can you call a supervisor out and I can talk to him?
I've already told
We've
you.
already talked to him, okay?
Can you tell me what law I'm breaking?
You're interfering with our traffic stop, okay?
In what way am I doing that?
You're interfering, because we're over here speaking with you, okay?
Isn't it, the Supreme Court has upheld our right just to film
are you
police
gonna
Okay,
leave
I'm
or
officers.
going to
not?
tell you one more time.
Are you going to leave or
You
not?
can either leave right now with your kids in your vehicle.
Okay, so you're threatening my family with force then, is that what it is?
We're asking you to leave.
And you're gonna use force against me if I don't
I'm
leave.
saying that y'all are going to be arrested if y'all don't leave our traffic.
So you're gonna, at the point of a gun, you're gonna threaten harm to my family, is that correct?
I never said that.
That's what you're saying.
Okay,
I never said that.
one more chance. Either leave the scene or step out of the vehicle and you're going to be arrested.
Okay, well, since you're threatening my life, I'm gonna move away from the scene because you guys are threatening my life and the life of my 4 kids in here. You are well outside the law. And normally, if I was by myself, I would probably refuse, but I got my family in the car. You are breaking the law right now. You're violating your oath. You're acting as criminals.
Alrighty.
And what I'm going to do is I'm going to move somewhere else and film you to make sure that you're not untoward to this. I want what's your badge number, ma'am?
It's 208.
Okay. I intend to have you held accountable for this. What's your
Can you
rank?
Go ahead and leave, please.
I will move is what I will do. I'm not going to leave.
Well away from my
I'm going to move where I want to, ma'am.
Okay, goodbye.
So here's the thing, guys. Somebody wanna, I would appreciate it. What town is this we're in?
Clute.
Oh, here's another officer.
C-L-U-T-E, I think.
Let's see here. Let's back up. Let's go into this parking lot here. I'm gonna get a little further away.
He's saying come here.
Nope. Roll up your window. Hey, come here. Hey, sir. If you want to speak to me, sir, I'll be right here. I'm just moving away. You can come over and talk. I just wanted to get out of here. These guys are nuts. How you doing, sir?
How you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. I'm feeling very threatened by the behavior of your officers here.
Okay.
Because I'm exercising my First Amendment right.
Sure.
And you guys are acting like bullies, or they are rather. I don't want to speak for you. I don't know you.
I'll go ahead and identify myself. I'm Sergeant Park. I'm in the Clute Police Dept.
Are you a supervisor of these guys?
Yes, sir.
Okay, great. Well, I'm glad you're here because they threatened my family's life just now.
How so?
Because they said that we were both going to be arrested. I got 4 kids in the car. If we were both arrested, not only that, my wife has no control over me driving my vehicle.
Right.
I'm 30 feet back from them, and by the way, there are hundreds of people watching you guys live right now on the internet.
That's fine.
It's not fine that your officers just threatened my life. They're engaged in
What were the exact words so I can understand?
the exact
what's going
words were I was going to be arrested, and if I don't comply with that, you guys will kill me. Isn't that right?
on? No, I'm not gonna kill you.
So if I resist being arrested and defend myself as I would against any other criminal, you will not use your weapon on me. Is that
If you
correct?
resisted arrest, we would just try to take you into custody if that were the situation.
So
but
wait, if
we're
you're
not going to
trying,
use any deadly force against you.
so if
unless
I,
you display any.
well, wait a minute. Don't I have a right to display deadly force if I'm being arrested illegally? The Supreme Court says I do.
Case basis.
I
You don't
understand
have the right
that.
to display deadly force if we're trying to lawfully arrest you.
It's not lawful arrest to tell me that I can't film your officers, sir.
Exactly. Okay, let me explain to you. Because I contacted them, they said over the radio that they had another vehicle pulling up. So whenever I called them, you do have the right to record us. That's
I do.
perfectly fine. My main concern is they said that you're along the highway here behind their vehicles.
I was right here on the corner.
Okay, my officers can't be concerned about your safety behind them, being on the roadway and everything. So if you're going to record us, that's fine, but you got to come over here into a private lot.
No, I don't.
Yes,
It's a
you
public
do.
street. I do not have to come into a private lot. Your officers left the scene of their stop to come harass my family. If they were concerned about it, which they were not, they wouldn't have both come over and gotten my face. They were trying to intimidate my family.
Well,
One
they
of
did the
them, hang on.
appropriate thing. Hang on, let me
One of
explain
them
to
could
you.
have come
Let me
over and
explain to
observed
you.
if they were concerned about
Are
it.
you going to let me explain?
All right, go ahead.
Okay, so whenever you pulled up, they did the proper thing. They notified me, their supervisor.
Sure, that's fine.
Just so they were doing everything correctly.
Right.
So I told them that if you were behind their vehicles right here, well, your vehicle is blocking our emergency lights. You both could be struck by a vehicle or whatever.
Nonsense.
So that's fine. You can record. That's fine. But you're going to have to stay away from the stop, like where you're at right now. This is fine. I just didn't want you too close to the stop because if anything happens,
And what
you're
statute?
putting yourself.
What statute is that requires
sorry?
me? What statute is that requires me to do that?
The main thing that we worry about is if you're that close,
Sir, I asked
my
you what
officers-
statute you're citing that says I lawfully have to do that.
I don't carry a law book around with
If
me.
you don't
okay?
know the law, you should not be out enforcing it on
Look,
people with a gun, sir.
All
You
I'm
understand
telling
that? You took an oath.
I just want you to keep about this distance from the crime scene because they're trying to do an investigation and they can't be
What they're doing-
constantly turning back to see what y'all are doing.
Yes,
you know
they
what
can.
I mean?
You know what? We as the civilianry, sir,
Yes.
we have to look over our shoulders all the time to see if we're being followed or if we're going to be harassed and collected by a police officer in today's
You're not doing
America.
anything wrong, you don't have to worry about us.
That's nonsense because I wasn't doing anything wrong and they just threatened to arrest me and my wife, which would result in my kids being taken by Child Protective Services thousands of miles from my home. Would you consider that a threat if you were out and about?
You're good. Go back. You're good.
I don't understand. You seem like a reasonable, calm person.
Absolutely.
I don't understand how you cannot understand the situations we face. You, as the officers, are supposed to be out here keeping the peace and de-escalating situations.
Exactly.
I was parked here. The idea that I'm more of a concern than anybody else on the road or the stop they might be engaged in. Now you guys got a tow truck out here to steal these people's car for whatever fake, unconstitutional law you arrested them for.
They're under arrest because they have warrants for their arrest. That's not our fault. They didn't pay their tickets.
So what kind of tickets are they?
I'm not allowed to tell you that because
You are allowed. It's public record.
It's okay. Well, if it's public record, you can go research it, but I'm not going to disclose their personal
But don't
business
tell
to
me
you.
don't tell me you're not allowed because it's a matter of public record. There's
Okay.
no statute that says you
Okay.
can't tell me.
We'll clarify it as this. You have no relation to the person being arrested, so
I don't know.
feel
They're humans.
I don't feel comfortable releasing their information
Okay,
to
fair
you.
enough.
Okay.
Okay, but here's the thing. As an officer, you guys go out, you write tickets to people. Let's assume for a moment that they're speeding tickets. It doesn't sound like they're wanted for murder or anything like that. They're unpaid tickets. You got people where you guys have written them fines that are, according to the 7th Amendment, if they're over a $20 fine, are unconstitutional without a jury trial. You got these judgments against them. Here you are, and I want you to think about this. You've got somebody that's got, let's say, 3 or 4 traffic tickets, whatever it might be on their record. Maybe it's a burnout taillight. I know a guy in Texas that got arrested because he had a delinquent ticket for a burnout taillight. Okay? You think it's law to go out and take people's cars to impound, lock them away in jails with no victim because their taillight was burned out? Does that seem okay to you?
The only
Is that
thing
America?
that we do, whenever we see a traffic offense, we just issue the citation. We don't do any judgment. That's for the judge to do.
No, it's not.
It
You're
is.
all accountable.
It is. That is the procedure. We
Haven't
just
you-
issue the ticket, and then they get a court date or whatever. The judge sets the fine. Now, if they don't take care of their fine or whatever, the municipality is the one that issues the warrant.
Isn't there right and wrong? Aren't you accountable, just like the people in the Nuremberg trials? If you,
I don't know how the difference in right and wrong plays into what we're talking about, though.
it's a hugely plays into it. You're
So, like, this
taking people
situation
away.
right here, this situation, all it was, my officer pulled him over. I'm not sure why. I wasn't here whenever he
I
pulled
drove
him
by
over.
when he pulled him over. It looked like it was for a burnout taillight or a headlight.
Okay, all right, so that's the initial reason for the contact. Once he runs their name and date of birth on their license, which is standard procedure, all we know is it comes back that they have an active warrant, and then we have to take them in to jail. That's our job. We have no choice.
That's nonsense. It's
There's
not
no
your job.
choice.
Your job is this right here, sir. Do you have a copy of this right here?
I don't carry it around with me.
Well, you should. You don't carry the Constitution? Do you know what the 6th Amendment is? The 4th Amendment? You don't carry a copy of the Constitution?
We don't carry a copy of the Constitution with us, sir.
Why?
We
I want you to
also
keep
don't carry
that.
a law
You-
book.
you need one.
No,
That's
I'm
the
not
best.
gonna- I'm not going to take your
That
property.
is your law book. I have plenty of those.
I'm going to leave it right here because I'm not going to take your property, okay?
It
Okay,
disturbs
I'm
me.
gonna leave you alone now. I'm gonna go back to what they're doing.
We're not finished yet.
Okay, I'm finished speaking right now. I have to go
Didn't
to
you
another
take an
call.
oath to the Constitution?
Yes, I did. I
haven't heard a call come in, so don't tell me that, Game. I've heard
Okay.
that a lot of times.
I have to go to another call on that end of the city. I just
I
wanted to
didn't hear
make
your
sure
radio.
that my guys were okay.
Yeah,
okay?
your guys were fine. It's me that's not
Okay,
okay.
let
It's
me
me
prove it to
filing
you.
a complaint.
203. What was the location of that call I was en route to?
Area of 4th Street and Riley. First caller was from 1150 4th Street. Second caller was from 516 Riley.
What was the nature of the call?
Hearing of gunshots in the area.
That is why I have to leave. Do you understand?
Well, okay,
so
but
if-
you
if
came
you
out here. It
please-
wasn't too
if you
urgent, or
would-
you wouldn't have come out here.
Well, I was concerned for the safety of my
I was
officers,
concerned for
okay?
the safety of my family, and your
Okay.
officers threatened them,
I'm
and I
gonna
want
leave
some
you- I'm gonna
disciplinary
leave you-
action taken on that front.
Everything is going good. If you would please just maintain your distance where you're at right now, I would greatly appreciate it. I'm going to go ahead and go.
What I
okay?
want you to think about tonight, I know that you have this idea that you do your job, but just remember, there's no just doing your job. There's right or wrong. You took an oath to this Constitution, whether you carry a copy or not.
Okay, well,
And this Constitution's
right and
the
wrong
law.
is an opinion, okay? So
No, it's the
harassing
law.
police officers is probably considered wrong to most people. We're just trying to do our job.
I'm not harassing anyone.
We're
I'm
trying to do
observing
our
you.
job. You're trying to make our job harder, okay? That's all
Actually,
you're
I made
doing.
no contact.
Okay.
You realize that your officers contacted me. I
On
didn't
my
endanger them.
orders.
I
On
did
my
not
orders.
endanger them.
But they
I was
didn't come
well
and
out of
identify
distance.
you. They didn't do anything like that. All I wanted
wasn't
you
giving
to
them that
do-
option.
All I wanted you to do is just keep your distance to where you're at.
My
right
distance was
now.
kept. I was 10 feet away, sir. The difference between where I am now and there was nonsensical. You just
Okay.
wanted to exert
Okay,
your
look.
authority.
I just want you to stay about this distance.
I'm
away,
not.
okay?
The only reason I moved is because you guys threatened my family with violence.
Okay, we didn't threaten anything.
Yes, you did.
were
That's what an
threatened-
arrest is.
You were threatened that you'd be placed under arrest for interfering with a police
And if I had
investigation
attempted to
if
defend
you
myself,
didn't leave.
I wasn't interfering with nothing. You guys were leaving your
Okay.
police investigation.
I'm trying to make sure that no interference happens. I'm trying to
The only
make
one
sure
that's
that
interfered
nothing
here, sir, is you.
escalates.
The only one that's violated their oath is your officers, and that's what you need to think about. If you got a call, I don't want to keep you from it. You better get going.
I am. You have a nice night.
You too. Take care. Listen, guys, this is the norm. This is America, you guys. Now, normally, right, I've talked about this before. I'm going to resist to a point, but these people were threatening me. Make no mistake, they were threatening my life. If they had tried to illegally arrest me, I was breaking no law whatsoever, which is why none of them could cite a law. Had they tried to arrest me and I had defended myself and my family, I would have been killed. Period. End of story. If I had used force to resist. That's why I'm not going to take it. That's why I moved 10 feet away to change the direction of the conversation, because I want to stay in control of this conversation. Yes, they're the bullies. Yes, they're violating their oath, but we illustrated that. We showed, here's their supervisor. He doesn't even have a constitution with him. He looked at it like, what's this? Did you see the sneer on his face? He's like, what? He looks at that. I'm just doing my job. Guys, this is Nazi Germany stuff. This person, there was no violent crime. They arrested this person and the tow truck driver. Remember we had a conversation about tow truck drivers recently? The tow truck driver is stealing their car right now. They will have to pay hundreds of dollars to get it out over what? Unpaid traffic fines that were probably illegal to write in the first place. This isn't okay. This isn't freedom. This is not justice. This is not liberty. If we keep tolerating this, we will forever be slaves, and we sell that slavery to our children. The mindset of these officers is that of murderers. Did you see the look on these children's face as they stood out here and threatened my family? They were not in any danger. They were not in fear. These are cowards. These are cowards who come out here to bully and to intimidate and to harass and to collect because they have their little piece of power, because they do their job, because they follow orders. That's what. I'm tired of this. I'm tired of my neighbors being locked in cages from every faction across the nation. I'm tired of these kids back here. I'm tired of them being put in danger and in fear. Had I not complied, these kids would be taken into the hands of government. Now, would they have pushed it? I've dealt with a lot of officers. I've looked a lot of officers in the eye, and I might have been able to say, no, go ahead and arrest me. Had I been alone, I might have done that. However, I've seen the attitude of the police system in Texas. It's worse than even in a lot of areas. Most areas, I've never filmed an officer, except for the one in Boise, Idaho, where they've been this aggressive, this hostile, this authoritarian. So we pushed back. We didn't run away. We kept the camera going, but I have to keep my family safe. I did not put my family in danger. Those police put my family in danger. My family is out here learning how to love their neighbor as themselves. That's what my family's out here doing. We were driving down on the way back home on the way home, and we saw somebody being stopped, so we stopped to observe, to make sure one of the abuses that we now see so often from police didn't happen. And observation changes the nature of the scene. It changes the way the police behave. So here you have a tow truck driver stealing someone's car. Why? Because it's his job. The police said, so it's the law, right? You have police saying we're arresting this person because it's our job, it's the law. And yet here is the law. This is the law. The law is people's rights. It's their freedoms. Liberty's not something to be hidden away on dusty shelves. It's something we should be holding up in front of us every single day of our lives, and we should be teaching it to our children and to our grandchildren. And these cowards for a paycheck, who think they are authority, who think they are power, you cowards out there who say, you shouldn't do this, you're harassing police. This coward who says, I'm protecting my officers and you're harassing us, is a liar. These are false law. These are false law enforcement. This is false authority, and I will not be silent. The little power I have to do to help this person in this car right here was simply to observe and make sure the abuse did not go further than a simple arrest. Should they have been arrested? No. Do these officers have a right to arrest them? From what I've heard, not at all. Will they be abused in the court system? Absolutely. I know people that have been in this very similar situation down here. The Feynmans, we've seen videos of them before. They found a very similar situation to this in Texas. Their cars impounded. This is what they do. You have an unpaid fine or this or that. Everything's a crime. And under certain circumstances, police will be lawless and arrest you. There they go. There they go, running away. They did their job. But here, they're very quick to arrest you. And I've known people that got arrested for this. Brad Feynman was arrested while sitting in the courtroom waiting for his hearing because he was late on paying the fine. That's the level of tyranny. The Bundys, the Hammonds, the Robertsons, the Natives, Jeff Winehouse, Schaefer Cox. The list goes on and on and on. And you know who it falls on? Oh, sure, it's our fault. It's the politician's fault. But you know who's enacting? You know who's arresting? You know who's pointing the guns? Those guys right there. Those people who say, I'm doing my job, and therefore it's okay. What your job is, what you're told by an authority, is not the law. The law is people's rights. It's their life. It's their liberty, and it's their property. And if you're not defending that, you're not law enforcement. You're not an authority. You're just a thug. All right, guys, they've all gone away. Once again, I'm the last one on the scene. They don't want to deal with me. We avoided arrest by that much tonight. And I expected this to be a non-eventful stop, honestly. I just thought I'd talk about watching police, and they'd leave, and I'd leave, and everything would be okay. But they chose every escalation here tonight was by the police. You know what it means to be an American, to uphold the American spirit and the American values? You know what it means to make America great again? It means you defend people's rights. It means you actually stand up, you get out here on the street, and you do good, and you love your neighbor as yourself. We need to make America great again by standing up for liberty and actually taking action. What city was this? Did you ever look? Yeah. Both of our phones are going, so I'm getting tired. I'm getting tired of being out here doing this, putting myself on the line while America sits around and thinks politicians are going to fix things and says we're going to fix it by supporting the blue line, or you need to shut up because you know you're harassing. I did no harassing tonight. In fact, maybe I should have been a lot harder on these guys. But I'm trying to love my neighbor too. And God help us, I hope that their hearts change and they repent and they honor their oath instead of acting like a gang crime syndicate, harassing and collecting. So you saw it. We showed you hands-on. There's lots of videos. You can pick up a camera. You can take action. And I can tell you from experience, usually the cops aren't this psycho. Generally, you can point a camera at them and they'll leave you alone. But you'll notice I stayed in the car, windows half up, doors locked, cameras going before I engaged with them, backup camera, another backup camera. So we had it going. Okay, guys, say bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye. What? Do you have anything to say?
They're a bunch of minions.
They're a bunch of minions. I think that's about right. They're a bunch of minions doing what they're told. Anything to say? No? Asher, anything to say?
Okay.
You know, let's say a prayer. Let's do that. God of the universe, we come before you. These are perilous times, and so many people are persecuted and in jail. And these officers, they don't understand right from wrong. They don't understand law. They don't understand their oath. They actually think that they're the good guys out here. They think they're out here helping people, even as they hurt people and violate their property and their rights. God, please open their hearts, open the hearts of this nation. Help us to stop being so hateful, faction against faction and brother against brother. Help us to cast off our sin, to love our neighbor as ourselves, and to be pure of heart and mind and spirit. Father, give us liberty and set the prisoners free. Amen.
Amen.